I'm Enzo, and today I'll be playing Auction Not Included. So today we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. The main thing is excavation and expansion, which I've cut all that stuff out because it's pretty boring. To start, I'm just sealing off the oil biome so we don't lose heat. And then we actually get golden darkness to another real fast later. And this time we actually get plus 10 strength, which is huge. Now we get a new duplicant. I named this one Risa, and I got them because they have a bunch of science and a bunch of husbandry. And here we can actually see one of the coolest things I've ever done is emptying out a massive lake of polluted water. And we here have a very close call with one of our duplicants, Aruna. She just barely escapes somehow and gets to safety. It would have been very bad to lose a duplicant. We find a natural gas geyser. This is one of two I find. I go ahead and seal it off so we can use it later on. Another duplicate. This one's named Rune, and they have a bunch of excavations, so they'll be good for digging. We're actually setting up a new area for our rad bolt generation. Apparently uranium ore doesn't actually give off that many rad bolts, but for some reason Wheezeworts give off a lot. So this is our new rad bolt research area. While we're working on the rad bolt project, let's start a new project here. This is going to later on become a huge oil tank because there's a leaky oil fissure here, which means it basically always is emitting crude oil a little bit, but it almost never stops. And when it does stop, it's for like a second. So you need a massive reservoir to hold all the oil, especially because it's a little too early to be processing oil. So we'll let it accumulate over time and then we'll use it later on. Next, I'm actually building the insulated tank. Now, my whole idea here is to not have it touching any of the walls, so that there's a complete vacuum in between the actual tank and the outer barrier. That's so that there's absolutely zero thermal conductivity, and we can keep the oil from losing heat. And here I'm actually building a room for a steam turbine. Now, my thought process behind this is eventually we can actually use the heat from the oil because it comes out at like 600 degrees and just turn it into free energy. I don't know if I'm going to need a extra thermal aqua tuner to cool this or if it can just self-cool, but this is just a test to see if this whole idea even works in the first place. And now we can actually excavate the leaky oil fissure. And while we're here, I actually do decide to sweep up the obsidian and granite we get from it, because it won't actually get too hot yet. It's just once it emits enough oil, then it becomes a problem. For the rest of the episode, we're actually going to be focusing on the second world finally. Yes, I know it's like 167, and now we're getting to it, but I like to be safe before we go do anything massive. And so we're sending Kenichi over there, Kenichi Saruyama. And off he goes. So when we arrive, I actually immediately am interested in this big rain jar. I do love the lore of this game, as I keep saying. It's all pretty neat to learn about. And then we actually find a duplicate in a cryo tank, so we defrost them. Also, we get an achievement. Neat. So, cryo tank or defrost duplicates actually have a skill called Ancient Knowledge, where they start with 3 skill points, so we can level them up to whatever we need. This duplicate is interested in building, so that's what we give them. Also, we do change their name to Lala. I think it's kind of fitting. And then later on, we actually do send a second duplicate, Gid, just for more workforce, so that we can do more excavating and expansion. That's all auction not included, at least for a good portion of the game is. We also find some pretty cool betas. Now, I'm gonna deal with these things later, like way later, but they are pretty cool creatures. I've seen a lot of videos on how they work and their mechanics, so I'm excited to start playing with them. By playing with them, I mean being very careful around them. Their stings do actually hurt quite a bit. and they can only survive in extremely low temperatures or vacuums. Then we finally get another duplicate. We name this one Kyoko. She has 7 excavation and starts with super duper hard digging. The only issue with that is actually she cannot build, which means if there's a construction that needs digging, she can't do it. So yeah, note that for your games. Anyways, this about wraps up this video of Oxygen Not Included. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Stay tuned for future episodes where I do even more and move to new planetoids. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This is Enzo from Look Into Gaming, signing out.